Hi, everyone. Allie Hartwig here. This is a nice evening interview that we get to do. It's like I'm sitting at home and ready to pour my first drink, and more than ready to talk to a comedian that I'm just about ready to consider a friend of mine. Because, we've met twice in real life, and now this will be the third time. Josh Wolf, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
This is real life now. I mean, this is as real as it gets now.
Well, that's going to be the saddest thing I hear until probably tomorrow evening.
You know, I just got this green screen behind me,
Yeah.
and now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have moved it because I'm leaving myself open to people just putting ridiculous things behind me.
I mean, if people watch these interviews, yeah, they would. Selling myself a little short here, but
Well, then don't worry about it.
okay, yeah, no, you should be fine. Honestly,
Okay.
if
No,
any,
I'm not worried about it. I'm not.
I guess I'll be proven wrong, but I'll also know that people are watching, so I'll feel good too.
Yeah, that would be. You know what? For those of you who are watching, the six of you, make sure. I hope one of you has green screen capabilities. Right? That's what we're hoping for.
I mean, if you've got iMovie on your phone, on your computer, you can do it in an instant. They make it so easy.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's like a little green screen picture-in-picture thing that you can do just on iMovie. It's like a filter. You can do it right from your phone.
Say what now?
Yeah. I mean, I know you're like a big star and you don't have to edit your own stuff, but for us little guys, we have to figure out how to do this without any formal training. So,
Hey, let's just go back to the part where you called me a big star. Can we focus on that for a little while?
well, like 1 million followers, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. But like, I still, you know what I mean? Like, I can't touch any of that. It doesn't seem. It's a number. It's like when you go to Vegas, and the reason they give you chips is because you're like, yeah, I'll spend this. What is this? What is this? A little red chip? Yeah, I'll throw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you were constantly throwing money down, you'd be like, well, I'm not spending that. So when you say followers to me, it's like it's a number, I guess. Now, if they were all sitting in front of me, I'd be like, that's a lot of.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. But like in my living room,
Now that doesn't feel real.
yeah.
My husband are watching me from the living room because that is real. But so you have been busy during quarantine, which good for you. Yay, you've been busy and doing things, but you've been hanging out with someone that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
How do you know him?
Well, we met over Twitter.
But I tweet him. Why can't
I don't know if you and I are tweeting him the same stuff, you know?
Probably not.
I used to walk my dog and smoke weed. And I called it my high walk. And I did it on Twitter. And I would just tweet weird, funny things. And he just replied one day. And I replied back. And then he's funny. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I go, do you want to come over and do my podcast? And he was like, yeah. And we talked for like 2.5 hours. And on the way out, I said, hey, man, if you ever want to do one, let me know. I would love to do a podcast with you. And he said, absolutely. And that was it. And I'll tell you something else.
Okay.
What a great, normal person he is. A normal dude, man. A normal guy.
I really love like the washing machine or whatever commercials that he and Sarah Michelle Gellar do, because it seems the right thing for them to advertise as a couple. Like they just seem like people who happen to be so super famous in the early 2000s and are now just regular. I also hated her in the early 2000s for having Freddie Prinze Jr. And this is how I know I've grown. I'm like very happy for them as a couple, genuinely. I know what that thing about her.
Well, you know.
Luckiest man alive.
Yeah, where is your Freddie Prinze Jr. poster right now? Just so I know.
To be next to my bed. It was prominently displayed next to my my closet doors were a collage of Gwen Stefani images, and then Freddie was right next to my bed. I don't know where that is. I assume in a box somewhere.
Let me ask you a question. Where does Party of Five, Scott Wolf fit in on that whole thing for you?
So I was a little too young for Party of Five, and I didn't have cable, and my parents were very strict about what I could watch on TV. So I just never really got into it, which
But wasn't that around the Freddie Prinze Jr. era?
was, but he was doing movies. So
Right.
like I could watch those, and it was like I seriously had bunny ears at my house. So
Yeah.
currently subscribed to like every single streaming service that there is.
Scott is my first cousin, right?
No way.
Yeah, and I teased him when I started doing the show with Freddie. I teased him mercilessly. I'm like, I'm on with a '90s heartthrob, you know. And he's like, all right, take it easy. I'm like, everybody tells me that Freddie Prinze was like that. And he's like, take it easy, relax. But it's funny. I meet now more little tiny dogs named Bailey and that was his name on Party of Five. And I'll ask him, I go, why do you name your dog Bailey? And they're like, oh, from Party of Five. And I always call Scott. I'm like, hey, I met another dog named after you.
I only know girls with the name Bailey. I don't know boys.
That was his name on the show, I think.
Okay. See, you're going to have to be the expert here. I also love that you're asking me questions. I've turned this around to be about me, not about you.
Well, the other question I want to ask you is, what is the football in the cabinet behind you?
Oh, it's actually really cool. That's a rugby ball. And the morning of my wedding, my husband plays rugby. Most of my family plays rugby. I always say me and my female cousins are just rugby horse.
Right.
Either married or dated a rugby player. And so the morning of our wedding, we got married at a summer camp. We had a huge rugby game, and everybody signed the ball afterwards.
That's nice. Does your husband have those whack ass ears?
No. Oh my God, no. He's like glamour position. He's the one who runs in for all the tries and scores points and like shakes his hair and looks really good. He doesn't get beat up too much.
I'll tell you something though. Those rugby players, they got legs for days. Come on.
Yeah, and they can. I think is why I found them mostly attractive.
I mean, who wears short shorts? Rugby players wear short shorts.
On the field, like that stuff does not stop when they take off their cleats. Like short shorts are always, they're too long if you can.
Listen, I went to one rugby party.
One.
Yeah, because when they asked me if I wanted to do an anal chug, I was like, I'm out on anal chug, and I'm gonna go ahead and not come back to another party.
I should have. Oh yeah, you got a butt chug offer.
Yeah,
Someone never been offered one, but I know they are a thing.
It was so matter of fact. He might as well have said to me, "That's a blue couch." Do you know what I mean? Like there was nothing attached to it. Just like, hey, you want an anal chug? Huh?
Have you the eye tequila shots?
What?
So what is it? We actually talked about this the other day. You'd like snort the salt.
Oh yeah.
Eat the lime and then no. You squirt the lime in your eye and then chug it. And then like the rugby players that I knew here used to try and do eyeball shots.
Which is what?
Like trying to like pour a shot in your eye, basically.
Like why?
It was for a scavenger hunt, I think.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty, where you had to try and light your finger on fire after dipping it. Yeah, I don't know. All these.
You know what works so well for shots? Your mouth hole.
I hear that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, the mouth hole. Because it's connected to all the other stuff where you want it to go. So if you pour it in your eye, where's it going to go? Your face? Like, I don't know where it goes anyways.
So I don't know if this was just like an urban legend, and I really hope it was. Because I remember when I was in college hearing stories about girls soaking their tampons in vodka, and all I could think is like, when you have a hangover, it hurts. I don't want to introduce actual alcohol.
It's real.
Awful.
Real. Yeah. I don't understand that either. Like there are, from what I understand, you can do it. Guys do it if you're an alcoholic and you don't want people to smell it on your breath. You can put it in your booty. And people
to that level, you have a problem.
Yeah. You think? You think? I mean, you're no doctor, but I think you're onto something.
Okay. How did this go so off the rails? We haven't even talked about the fact that you're coming to Denver this weekend.
Oh, that's right. I'm coming to Denver this week.
Yeah. So are you excited about that? Have you been out of the house or out of the state much?
Yeah, actually, I'm talking to you. We just moved to Nashville.
You were in Nashville.
I just moved here 10
Oh.
days ago.
What prompted that move?
I always think it's good to shake things up every now and then.
Okay.
I learned in quarantine that I don't make any of my money because I live in Los Angeles. So like, why live in Los Angeles? And I've always wanted to live here. My wife has always wanted to live here. We have a bunch of friends here. She is a writer director and it just sold a show here. And I was like, oh, let's just go. And 2-hour flight to Denver, most.
Nice.
It's just better. Excuse me, just better.
You're not gonna like become a Titans fan or anything, right?
No, I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh, that's worse.
Is it? Are you a Broncos fan?
Oh, I'm a Bills fan. No,
Oh.
AFC East. What? We spanked you guys almost yesterday. Actually, we just relied on Cam Newton fumbling. But
Yeah, I mean, I would pump your brakes about getting too excited just for one regular season win. But I understand being a Bills fan. That probably seems pretty exciting to you.
a huge deal. We are solidly first in the AFC East right now
Yeah, but who cares?
Well, in the division. That
Maybe.
happened since the 90s.
I know.
I'm so excited. I was a child the last time this happened.
Well, I love coming to Denver. I love I love how passionate people are about the sports teams in Denver.
Yes.
For sure. You definitely don't want to talk about the Patriots too much in Denver. They don't seem to like them too much there.
Oh, but again, they also beat the Patriots this year, and they have won very few games.
Oh,
So
the Patriots are terrible this year. They're terrible.
they're really bad. But the guys, so you might be okay being a Pats fan in Denver this year.
I actually feel like this is how you can tell we've won too much. Because I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Let somebody else. Give somebody else a chance. You know what I mean?
Gracious of you, magnanimous, some might say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be nice to Bills fans.
Nah, be nice to Broncos fans. We're cool. So
I'm excited. But Denver comedy fans are the absolute best.
you know, show at Comedy Works. My first time seeing it in person last weekend. And it is so awesome how they are distancing people and just the way they've been able to adapt to how we have now. And I thought it might be weird because when you're in a mostly empty club, like just the reactions are not the same. The energy isn't the same, but they did such a good job filling up that space with so few people that it was great.
The energy is actually better. People are so excited to be out of the house around other people that even though it's a smaller crowd, and I've done now, I think since quarantine started, I've only done 4 weekends. But they have all been outstanding. Everyone is just fucking psyched to be out. Do you know what I mean? And I'm doing a brand new hour. So whoever saw me there last year, it's a brand new hour. And because I haven't been on stage in so long, it's just so much fun. So much fun. And I usually forget about the altitude. So midway through my set, I'm like, why am I winded? But I'm doing extra cardio so I don't get people make fun of me for being winded on stage. Like, you're breathing heavy, bro. I'm like, yeah, I got it, man. Oh man, it's embarrassing mid joke where you're like, I gotta sit down.
Oh, just make it cool and people will understand. Plus, it makes in Denver feel good. Like, yeah, we're so hardcore.
They are.
Yeah.
You guys are like superheroes up there.
We do try our best. Well, I'm really excited for you to be here this weekend.
Are you coming to the show?
I mean, probably at this point, because I kind of made it sound like I was going to. So now it would be weird if I told you no, and I don't even have anything else I'm doing. So out of in the moment obligation, yeah, all right, I guess I'll be there.
Bring your husband. Make sure he wears those shorts.
Oh, okay. I think ugly shorts, right, love? Yeah, he said yeah.
Yeah. And you don't want, I mean, listen, he's probably looks great in shorts. I have chicken legs. I remember I did an audition once for it was a soap company, and so you had to do an audition for you had to be in a shower, and so the first I was like, my legs are terrible, but I'm gonna try to get through the first round without showing my legs. So first round I show up and I'm wearing pants, and they're like, we're doing a shower scene. We got to see you wash your. I'm like, oh, I forgot my shorts. I didn't know. And they're like, all right, just do the audition. It was funny. They were like, yeah, you were really funny, man. So come back, but wear shorts. And I was like, okay. So I wore long shorts, like not capris, but not capris. You know what I mean? They weren't capris, but they weren't not capris.
Okay.
And we did the audition again, and my calves are normal. It's just the rest of the baby bird that's not.
How does it look like Sticks swallowed an orange or something? Like
I'll tell you what, my calves are actually, when I work my calves out, they get big.
Prove it.
The other parts of my legs don't.
Prove it.
You want me to? What do you mean prove it?
Just like lift up your leg. I want to see your calf.
Well, I'm not working out right now.
Oh.
I've worked out since March. But when I work out my leg, I have the whitest legs of all time, though. You want to see how white they are?
Yes, I do.
This is like all-time white.
Hey, get your green screen captioning ready now. Oh, they're not that bad. You
What?
normal calves.
Oh, hold on. Look at that. Oh! Now let me tell you something. This calf, that's almost as big as my thigh. So when the casting director was like, so we told you to wear shorter shorts. And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, can you lift them up? I go, do you see my calf? And she said, yeah. I'm like, it's the same all the way up. And they were like, what? I go, calf, thigh, same thickness. And they were like, yeah, we can't book you. I'm like, no, I just want to. I wanted to come back. Not too many people show you their legs on this, do they?
I think you're the first.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We actually got a comment. Nice. Show the gams. So you give ladies what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Yep. And you're doing that this weekend. Comedy Works South at the Landmark. The link's been scrolling across this whole time, but we'll post it as well. Josh, as always, it was great talking to you. Thanks for catching up with me.
Great talking to you too. And thank you so much for having me. And make sure you get in touch with Mel to get some tickets for you and your husband.
I will, because now I said I would, so I have to. So this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be the guy in the shorts.
Sounds good. Josh Wolf, as we said, is at Comedy Works South at the Landmark. Link right there. I can see it. It's going right by. Oh, that's the way we do this. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I'm Allie with Comedy 1031.